For years, many have written about the housing shortage in our community. And for years, except for the occasional study, not much has been done to address this problem. However, our Board of County Commissioners this past spring voted on a range of solutions. Those solutions have merit. They are worthy of further discussion. That was written by the Aspen Times in August of 1975. So, the housing challenge here is not a new problem, but what is new is who it's affecting now. Who it's affecting now is a group of people we call the missing middle. It's kind of a tough group of people to define, so I'm going to describe both sides of it. On one side, we have low-income housing. This type of housing has helped a lot of people, and I include myself in that list. I'm a beneficiary of low-income housing. It's a program that's born out of Washington, D.C., and it's meant to help the folks that are in the most need, the folks that have the least means to pay. It's helped a lot of people, but sometimes it carries a certain stigma. And I remember that stigma because I carry it with me today, and it informs a lot of how I approach projects today. When you're a child on a school bus, kids can be tough, especially in elementary and middle school. And so when you pull up to a certain neighborhood or a certain project, they know that's where those people live. And that stigma is something that is almost by design because that program needs to help those people and kind of be inflexible to make sure that those people are helped. On the other side of the ledger is market rate housing. The goal there is to jack up rents as high as possible and to sell the homes for as much as possible. The developer's duty in that instance is actually to produce a return for their investors. That's their number one job. What happens in the middle, these are right now in Summit County, these are our teachers, these are our first responders, these are the people that make our community function. Some might say these are the people that guard our way of life while we sleep. These people have been left behind by the housing market. There's nothing to serve their need right now, but there is hope. And the hope is right here in our backyard. Just this week, the United States Forest Service, in an unprecedented collaboration between federal, state, and local governments, signed a 50-year ground lease to hand over 10 acres of land to create permanent locals-only housing. That's not where the magic stops with this project, and to understand what really makes it incredible, you have to know a little bit more about what typically happens in real estate development. So what typically happens in real estate development, a developer buys a piece of land, they hire an architect to design it, they work with the local authorities to get the permits, they work with the bank and they get a loan to construct it, and then when it's fully leased up, they sell it for a ton of money, and they make a bundle. With a U.S. Forest Service project, what's going to happen instead, all of the upside is going to go back to Summit County to make rents more attainable and make homeownership more attainable. How much upside are we talking about? Over a 50-year period, that project alone, that just one single project, will generate $400 million in cash that will be directly reinvested back into Summit County to make housing more attainable. I want to leave you with one major point to this whole talk, and it's this. The Mountain West culture is a culture that's steeped in ingenuity and creativity, and for good reason, because it's by necessity. For those of us that live here year-round, we know what it's like to not only survive in this environment, but to thrive in this environment. So as the rest of the country is coming to grips with their housing shortage and the challenges that they're going to address, don't be surprised if they come calling. Don't be surprised if it's Summit County leading the way or that it's Breckenridge or Telluride pitching in. These are the communities that have led by example on this issue for decades, even if the air is a little thin. Thank you.